So I like to do this a lot in these type of videos where it's like relationship things that I think are like really applicable and I think that are helpful and I think that is challenging. My challenge to anybody watching this video is try this. I've said it before with other things. Give it 30 days, especially in your romantic relationship. If you do this, I'm guaranteeing you the quality of your relationships, whatever, will increase, and that person is going to feel more cared for, more loved, more heard, more understood, more connected to you than if you did not do otherwise. Hello, everybody out there. So for today's video, I wanted to do a video on empathy in relationships. I always think I'm going to talk about like romantic relationships, but again, empathy is one of those things that is involved in every relationship, whether it's friends, family, significant others, husbands, wives, boyfriends, girlfriends, I don't even care, side chick, side bro, side dude, I don't know, random shit. Excuse me. Every relationship that you have, empathy is going to or should be coming into play. So to kind of start off, I'm going to kind of break down what empathy is and then kind of like when I think it's actually used, typically speaking. So empathy, essentially speaking, if you literally Google it, is going to be our ability to understand and relate to others, and kind of like essentially speaking, figure out and understand like how they're feeling in the situation that they're currently in. So how do we typically use, or what does typically empathy look like in a relationship? So it could be something as simple as someone's upset, whether they're upset about a life situation or you're in a relationship and you've upset them by something that you've done or said, and it's you trying to understand where they're coming from, why they're upset, why what they're going through is causing them, sadness, grief, pain, whatever it may be. And you're just trying to really relate and understand where they're coming from. Another time we use empathy is when we're giving advice, because we're trying to give someone advice because of situation they're dealing with, whether it's positive, negative, doesn't really matter. But we're trying to be empathetic, understand where they're feeling, what they're going through, and then giving them actual advice that's usable within the current situation. So that's kind of what empathy is. The idea of when we actually use it, like kind of like a quick like at a glance idea of like when we're actually going to use it. So it kind of brings me to like the whole point of this video. Like I'm sure the question kind of is like, dude, why are you doing a video on empathy? Like what is the point of doing this damn video? So kind of what I said at the beginning is I like to bring fresh perspective and fresh ideas to different topics. And I think for myself, it starts within me, it starts within myself, because I'm thinking about my relationships, my life, whether it's relationships with significant others, friends, family, whoever it may be. I always want to improve those dynamics, improve those conversations, improve those relationships overall. So I try and figure out how to do it. I feel like I'm a very pragmatic person. I like to figure stuff out. I like to problem solve. And then there are times where I come up with stuff or stuff that I implement within my life that I feel like I want to pass on a little bit of a nugget of knowledge. And whether it's something that all it does is it makes you think about empathy in a new way, that's great. If it makes you change your perspective on empathy and how empathy actually works, I think that's great. And I really think that that's kind of the whole idea, is just trying to kind of open up people's minds to different ways of thinking about things, different perspectives, and then hopefully improving your relationships if it does reach you on that level where it kind of reframes how you utilize empathy in your life. So as I kind of said, empathy is how you relate to other people. But what I really feel like in most people's relationships, utilization of empathy, we usually are relating to somebody and we're trying to give them advice or understand where they're coming from or figure out, how we upset them and like trying to understand. And we're trying to like walk in their shoes, but we're walking in their shoes through our lens, through our perspective of what's going on. And that's not, in my opinion, what true empathy is. Because again, I'm not saying people are doing it out of a selfish way, but we're doing it in a way that is sorta, kinda selfish, where we're trying to be up, like walking in someone else's shoes, but like I just literally said, repeating myself, like we're looking through our lens alone. We're not walking in their shoes and looking through their lens. So what does this mean? Let's say you have a boyfriend, girlfriend, you've upset them, you're having a fight problem, and you've done something wrong. And you're trying to understand what they need for you to make it better. Like obviously you should ask that question, like what can I do to make it better? But you're trying to understand what they need, understand what you said and how it affected them, and you're trying to walk in their shoes. But the problem is a lot of times, like I just said, like we're looking at it from our lens. So we're like, okay, like if I was my significant other, if I was my girlfriend in that analogy, what would I need? What would I want to hear? What would I want? But the problem is that we're not sitting there and looking at it from their lens, where you're like, okay, I'm walking in their shoes. What is, excuse me, what does my girlfriend need? What does my girlfriend want? What is my girlfriend feeling? And yes, you might, like I said, you might think like, well, that's what empathy is, but yeah, it is that. That is what empathy is, but that's not what we normally do. Normally, again, it's like, what would I want to hear? What would I want to do? What would make me feel better? If you're giving advice, it's like, well, what advice would I want to hear? What advice would I take? What advice do I think would apply to the situation if I was in their shoes? But it's not customized usually for the person that we're talking to. And I really think that's something that's really important, is focusing on that customization through their lens. So it turns into, instead of what advice would I take, what advice would I give, what advice do I need to hear, and it turns into what advice do they need to hear? What advice do I feel like they're going to take? What do I need to say? What do I need to feel based on how they're feeling, how they're viewing things, how they need to be talked to, how they need to be apologized to? It's not about me. It's about them. And that's truly what empathy is supposed to be. It's supposed to be really trying to walk in someone's shoes, view things through their lens, and really trying to meet them where they're at. And then when you're responding, you're apologizing, you're giving advice, whatever it may be, however you're utilizing empathy in your relationships, you're really trying to do it from their point of view. You're trying to do it from what's going to work for them, not what you think is going to work best for you or in general with people. Obviously, if you are in a relationship with somebody, whether it's whatever type of relationship, it doesn't matter. If it's a boyfriend, girlfriend, you only been with them for a few months, then this does not apply. So like, throw that shit out the window. The beginning stuff, yes. This part, no. But it's like a deeper dive into it. If it's someone that you've been dating or been in a relationship with, you're married to, friends you've been friends with for a long time, family you've been family with forever, I guess, since you've been born, you really have to understand that you should have a general idea of who you're talking to, who you're dealing with, who you've upset, who you're giving advice to, who's going through a hard time. You should have a general idea of the type of person the type of person that they are and who they are. You should have a general idea of what they need to hear, whether it's words of affirmation, whether it's telling them that it's going to be okay, whether it's giving them motivation, whether it's giving them direction, whatever like you need to do should be based off of what you know about this person, because you've had a longer relationship with them. And it shouldn't be based off of what you think's best, or what you think they should do, or what you think they want, like not what they want to hear, because that is what you should say. But it shouldn't be based off of you. It should be based off of them. It should be based off of what you know about them. That's really where it's going to be important, and that's really what's going to differentiate your trying to be empathetic to this person than anybody else. Because like I said, a lot of times we walk in somebody else's shoes, but again, it's just from our point of view and like our lens. So I like to do this a lot in these type of videos where it's like relationship things that I think are like really applicable, and I think that are helpful, and I think that it is challenging. My challenge to anybody watching this video is try this. I've said it before with other things. Give it 30 days, especially in your romantic relationship. And if you upset your partner, if you're giving advice to your partner, if you're being encouraging to your partner, whatever that looks like, if you've upset your partner and you're apologizing, really try and get into their shoes, meet them where they're at, and be talking to them in a way that is going to be beneficial and helpful for them. Apologize in the best way for them. Try and encourage them, give them advice that's going to be best for them and what you know about them, versus thinking about yourself or what you think is going to work for you or what you would like to hear if you were them. Instead of doing the whole what I'd like to hear if I was, my girlfriend or my boyfriend, it's what does my boyfriend or my girlfriend want to hear or need to hear from me? Like, yes, you need to have the conversation of asking those questions, but after you ask it, or if you don't ask it for whatever reason, or you just don't do that and you just already feel like really reevaluate before you're speaking to make sure that is the place you're coming from. So my challenge again is 30 days, try it, implement it. If you do this, I'm guaranteeing you the quality of your relationships, whatever, will increase, and that person is going to feel more cared for, more loved, more heard, more understood, more connected to you than if you did not do otherwise. So try it for 30 days. Let me know how it works out. Comment, message, however you want to let me know. But at the end of the day, I really want people to try it and see how it goes, because I think it'll drastically guarantee it'll improve your relationship dynamic with those people. So that is what I have, kind of a short video. I didn't want to make it too long because it's kind of like a very direct piece of advice. It doesn't need to be drawn out for 19 hours. Thank you for everybody who did watch this live and everybody who's watching on YouTube. I do greatly appreciate it. The idea of doing this whole channel, this whole greater than movement, is to help 100 million people. I say it in almost every dang video, but that's really what it's about. It's not about me. It's not about anybody else as far as like that's involved in this movement. It is about helping 100 million people improve their lives, small ways, big ways, brightening somebody's day, changing their life, or meeting in the middle as I try and die by coughing, and trying to meeting in the middle and improving their relationships like this video is trying to do with their friends, family, significant others. That is the name of the game and the goal. If you do get any value out of this video, I would ask that you please share it. I don't like to ask people to like and subscribe because it's very generic and everybody on YouTube does it and it drives me absolutely fucking insane. If you want to do that, great. I greatly appreciate the support that way. But the best way to help 100 million people faster, whether I ever know I helped 100 million people or not, is if people share the content. So if you want to share directly, if you want to tag people in it, however you want to do it, you want to comment to them, I don't care. Send them a link. It doesn't matter. Just feel free to share if it's of value to you or you feel like someone else could get value from this video. Maybe they're having relationship problems or whatever else. Just try and help out your friends and family have better quality of lives as well and better relationships overall. So that's what I got. This is the point in time where I answer live questions on Facebook Live and Twitch. If you want to ask live questions about this topic or any other topic, you are more than welcome. The whole idea, again, is to help 100 million people. So answering questions is a great way to do that. Just trying to bring more perspective into things. If you don't want to ask them live, you don't have to, obviously. You can put them in the comments on YouTube. You can message me directly, whatever, DM me, however you want to get a hold of me. It doesn't have to be about relationships. It can be about life, job interview, getting a job, friends, family, adopting dogs, which I've done many times. Whatever it is that you want to ask, that's the whole point. Just trying to help people in different areas of their lives and answering questions. If it's a long question, I will end up making probably a video about it or responding to you a little bit more directly. If it is in the comments or like, it's not a comment, but if it's in a question box on Twitch or Facebook, just because of the fact that it may take me a little bit too long to answer, so I might have to message you directly to give you a longer answer because I don't want to give people generic bullshit answers to questions because it's not helpful. So that is what I have. So for everybody watching on YouTube right now, thank you guys for watching. I greatly appreciate it. For the YouTube friends out there, guys, stay healthy, stay safe, and I'll talk to you guys real soon. Bye.